Hello, this is Cesar. By now, everybody in the US probably heard about this truck driver, Rogel Aguilera Mederos. He was responsible for an accident that killed 4 people in Colorado. And the judge gave him 110 years in prison, which was the minimum sentence he could have given him, given the charges he was found guilty of. Um, oof. I mean, a lot of people are already saying that 110 years is too much. Most people agree that he has to spend some time in prison because he was responsible for the tragedy, even though maybe not intentionally. And to the people, to the families that lost their loved ones, I mean, there is nothing to say, nothing to do that could bring them back and compensate them. I heard that the trucking company settled with them, but no matter how much money you receive, the money is not going to bring back your family. So there is no question about that's a tragedy, and I believe nobody questions that he has to pay some kind of punishment, but 110 years. And I wanted to do a video about truck drivers for a while. I used to be a truck driver, and I know I have a close friend who is a truck driver, and I always have to hear how the struggles that he has to go through. And I think people in general don't understand what a truck driver lifestyle involves, and truck drivers get no love from nobody. I mean, I'm not laughing at this tragedy. I'm just laughing at myself. The inside thought that I thought that the truck driver profession was an easy one, because I thought, oh, you're gonna be sitting there all day. You don't have a boss behind your back. It is one of the hardest jobs in the country. It is very tiring to be sitting there, because you are driving 80,000 pounds of stuff that can do a lot of damage, and so many things can go wrong. In this case, his brakes, when he lost his brakes, but a tire can blow, another truck can hit you, another car can hit you. I have seen some videos that cars test the brakes of the trucks by getting in front of them and braking real fast. What are these people thinking? Like, that's like so stupid. So truck drivers have to worry about following all the rules, driving perfectly all the time, because one little mistake can cause their lives or the lives of somebody else. And not only they have to pay attention to what they're doing, they have to pay attention to what everybody else is doing. It's very taxing on the mind, let alone the body. Back problems, liver problems. Sometimes truck drivers have to go without eating because maybe there is no time, or there is nowhere to stop by and have lunch or dinner. I mean, everybody carries something like a quick soup or a snack or whatever, but still. And I think only God knows if he is really responsible or not. But based on the fact that when I was a truck driver, one of the biggest fear was that I have an accident. Nobody wants to have an accident, of course. I mean, if you are a truck driver or not, nobody wants to have an accident. And to be responsible for the death of somebody else, that is a nightmare. What I read was that he could have taken a run of ramp. I don't know if that alone constitute negligence, if he knew that he couldn't stop the truck when he could have taken the ramp and he didn't. Obviously that is. but only he knew what he was thinking at that time. What happened to him happened to me, because he wanted to take the shoulder, but there was already a truck stopped in the shoulder. So when I was driving, not in Colorado, but in New York, a smaller truck, not 18-wheeler, but a box truck, and my brakes didn't work, but I was able to go into the shoulder, and eventually the brakes came. The brakes didn't work, but I was able to go into the shoulder, and eventually the brakes came back, and I was able to stop, so nobody got hurt. But my heart was pounding, like, you know, what if I had hit someone? There was nowhere to go because it was rush hour, and I wasn't going that fast, and the truck wasn't that heavy, so I didn't think I could have killed anybody, but I could have obviously hit at least 1 or 2, 3 cars. Luckily, in my situation, the shoulder was empty. And after that, I had to check all the truck, everything about the truck, of course. The truck, the brakes work. I called the dispatcher. What do you want me to do? He said, take the next exit and check the truck. And, you know, if it works, then there is nothing we can do, because it just happened that one time. It happened just at one time. So these things happen. Like, these things, like, it's not, every trucker has to do a pre-trip, you know, and check air brakes, tires, lights, and so on. It takes, you know, depending how you are, 15 to 30 minutes. So we do that. So we can check the brakes at the beginning, but the brakes can go, you know. It happened to me, and I was lucky that I had space. So 110 years. Now, I think that the only jury that could have been a fair jury for him was other truck drivers, because you're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers, because we know what it takes. And I think that even if that happened, he would have gone to jail anyways for a few years, because no matter what, you're responsible. I mean, you know, you are behind the wheel, so if something malfunctions, you know, you're supposed, we are told that we're supposed to keep enough distance, more distance than a car. I mean, I don't know if that would have mattered this time, because if the brakes went, the brakes went. Was he going above the speed limit? So maybe the damage could have been lower if he had gone at the speed limit. Could he have done one thing or the other thing? And it's easy to say he could have done this or he could have done that. But when you are behind the wheel, you need to think about these things in like half a second. I feel sorry for this guy. They say they're gonna appeal the decision. The judge followed the rules. I don't think there is any error there. Maybe there was errors somewhere else. I don't know how you feel, you know, if you think, okay, well, he did what he did, he was found guilty, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that sentencing somebody for 110 years in this case is the right thing to do. I mean, on the other hand, 4 people died, and it's hard, you know. I mean, oof. The truck drivers are, some truck drivers are saying that they will boycott Colorado. They are not gonna take any, they're gonna drive there. I don't know if that is the right thing to do, because the people from Colorado, by the way, every time, no, not every time, I think all the time, when you go get your groceries, when you buy an iPhone, even the Amazon packages that you get, I mean, the Amazon packages you get are literally driven to you with a truck, a smaller truck, but a truck. But those packages first were inside one of these big trucks. So I would say 90% of the things you buy, you touch, you consume, they were brought to you by a truck driver. So it's a very important part of the economy. And if trucks don't go to Colorado, people in Colorado are not going to have many of the things they need. So I don't know if a boycott is the right thing. On the other hand, I understand the solidarity of the truck drivers, because we are very careful. Like, not only because it's very hard to get your license, there's a lot of training, there is a school. After you pass the test, the company that hires you trains you at least a few weeks, sometimes more. There is so much to pay attention. Nobody wants to be responsible for an accident. And things will happen, of course. And if you made a mistake or if you did it on purpose, you have to pay. But, you know, how much is the right punishment? 110 years? I think that's too much. But the judge followed the rules. So what can he do? So anyways, so the boycott maybe is so that at least he knows he's being supported. At least I think he knows that. And maybe the lawmakers or the judge, I don't know what legal ways they have to show him clemency so that his sentence is lowered to something more fair. Now, you can disagree, of course, that 110 years is fair because he did commit all the crimes that he was charged with, and 4 people did die. But if he did what the driving laws require him to do at each moment, because I'm sure that this situation changed by the second, and if he made a reasonable decision that other truck drivers could have done, not you who drive a 4-wheeler, truck drivers call cars 4-wheelers, because driving a car is like driving a toy. No offense, but compared to driving a truck, driving a car is like driving a toy. You cannot make a judgment because you don't know. So what was I saying? Also, you might even, maybe even truck drivers, and some truck drivers are saying he did the crime, he has to pay. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong, or most or the people that support him are wrong, and he has to just go through it. And I guess he can be maybe pardoned by the governor. I don't know. I mean, I am emotionally biased here because I was a truck driver. He is Latino like me. He's from Cuba. I'm from Guatemala, so that's another. We are similar, but I think I would feel the same no matter who this guy, what the race of this driver was. Like, you know, I don't think that affects me. It's it affects me that I was a truck driver, and that 110 years is just, I don't know. I think maybe 10 to 20 years maximum of, I don't know. See, even when I say this, I don't know, like 20 years, like he's 26, his 20 years, he's gonna be 46 when he gets off. Like his life, half his life is gone. He cannot start I don't know if he even has a family, but he cannot start a family. I don't know. 10 years. And when I say 10 years, I think maybe that's too little. The 5 people who are going to watch this video, please, when you see truck drivers, just know that it's very hard to drive those things. Give them space. You know, don't beep because they are on your way. There is sometimes the truck cannot go any faster. You know, I don't know. I'm out of words, so I'm gonna stop it here. Take it easy.